Hi. Wednesday night, June 20th, I watched an hour of news on the major news outlets of MSNBC and Fox News. It was the Rachel Maddow show and the Ingraham angle, respectively, an hour on each show. While more of a matter of convenience than my being intentional, both show hosts were women. Rachel Maddow, host of the Rachel Maddow show, is 45 years old, a liberal from California, educated at Stanford and Lincoln College, Oxford. Laura Ingraham, host of the Ingraham Angle, is a 55-year-old Republican from Connecticut, educated at Dartmouth College and the University of Virginia. While there were some similarities of issues covered on each broadcast, it's my observation that between these two particular news stations and these shows on this evening, there is no intermedia agenda setting, as we learned about in our readings this past week. Nor do these journalists share their role as information gatekeepers. Like it talked about in the article from the International Journal of Press and Politics, the news dissemination processes are aligned with the media platforms. In this case, the broadcast station schema was quite evident. The hot issue being presented and debated on June 20th was President Trump's family separation policy. Rachel Maddow spent the full hour focused on this one issue, with episodic coverage within the 5 news frames that we learned about from Semetko and Valkenburg. For example, as it pertains to economic consequences, Maddow did a segment on how the broader issue affected the airline industry, particularly that American Airlines, Frontier, and United all announced they would no longer fly certain routes or certain passengers that conflicted with the company values as it pertained to this family separation policy. Do we hear bandwagon, anyone? Laura Ingraham provided a more thematic news approach than Maddow on the family separation policy. Ingraham provided a historical context, going back 10 years or more on the conflict on the border and the presidential policies throughout the years. Ingraham's guests included an immigration attorney, reporters from other print and broadcast mediums, and policymakers. Unlike Maddow, family separation was not the only issue discussed during Ingraham's one-hour show. It was one of many. The contrast between shows made it clear to me there's an agenda put forth by the media to influence a viewer's perception and salience on issues that the media deem important. Framing, much through language on both these stations, strongly impacted the shaping of public perceptions of the family separation issues, inciting stereotypes and validating or marginalizing the victims of such attacks. Maddow used phrases such as harebrained, half-thought policy, babies taken from the arms of their parents, and that the president caved throughout her newscast. In contrast, Ingraham spoke of protecting the borders, saving women from human trafficking, and the president's dealing with the issue as best as he could. In sum, it's really what I would say buyer beware. Consumers of news must take responsibility for asking themselves probing questions, such as the reasons behind how a story is packaged or presented. Consumers of news must be vigilant in understanding that language can reveal hidden or disguised biases and even stereotypes. The news media is a valuable source of information and such a powerful mode of communication. The news media has the ability to dictate what stories are considered newsworthy and how much prominence and space they are allocated, which influences the formation of public opinion. Both sides need to be aware of the power each holds and move forward responsibly.